Oh no! Apparently we were live when you were fixing your hair.
Oh yeah.
It didn't stay live on our end. Oh, that's funny. It's day two.
This is as Tracy so aptly called it, and I loved this. Does this sound like you? You're giving them a scenario in which they can feel related to, that they can understand. So these are kind of like the hypothetical what ifs.
Remember, anybody that bought will not see day 2 or 3 because you're tagging people so they don't see them.
Yes.
So you don't have to worry about repeating your story. These are the people that are still on the fence.
Yep. So you tag people who've already bought. So if you have, 5 people who bought on day 1 and you're really concerned that they're going to get another email, do not stress about this. They will not, if you have tagged them and you exclude in your email for day 2, 3, and following, if you exclude people who have bought, they will not get these emails. So do not stress. Unless they've signed up with multiple emails, which at that point, that's kind of on them. Does this sound like you? This is where you are posing those hypothetical questions that we've talked about, where you're addressing the pain points that your readers have. I think that we also talked about an imagine part, right? Like we talked about that. Was it last week or was it last month?
Oh my gosh, they all flow together.
I know.
No, I think it was last month.
Okay.
Because it was the sales page, I believe.
We talked about a section where imagine what life would be like if. That's where you're kind of doing the back and forth here. Does this sound like you? Is your house a constant mess? Do you feel like the laughing stock of your family because of how cluttered your house is? Would you rather have a root canal without Novocaine than have somebody pop by because they were around the corner? Instead of having like that, whatever it is. This is where you can do this as many times as you want. 3, I recommend odd numbers.
Yeah, I recommend 3 because I think that's what people have the patience to read, and that's what they expect is 3.
I like to do more, but I'm extra. It's just
She's kind of crazy.
It's what I do. It's part of what I do. But sometimes I will stick with 3. It all kind of depends. Sometimes I just go with it and I come up with like 6 of them and it just works. There isn't necessarily a magic number, but if you're like, give me a minimum 3. Minimum is 3.
No, I think that's good. I think a minimum of 3 is good. Go as high as you need to go for your product because there's going to be different pain points depending on your niche, your product, your audience, how they resonate. And I would start with 3, like Caroline said. You can tweak these emails every single time you send them. This is your first go round.
Yep. Okay. This is a nice and easy thing. And the best part, guys, is this is like the barometer for you.
Oh, good.
No matter what happens, it will exceed your expectations. Just because of the fact that when you sell something, you are going to do a happy dance and like throw yourself a party. Literally throw yourself a party.
I still do.
I do that all the time. Every single time that I sell something during like a flash sale, I throw myself a party.
Right.
Like I'm a child. Anyway. I know. I'm like, whenever someone's around me, I'm like, give me a high five. And they're like, okay. I'm like, just don't worry about it. But just give me a high five because I'm a weirdo. Anyway. So does this sound like you? Pain points listed out in and it doesn't have to be in bullet points, but I find that they do work because if it's one line, it catches people's attention. So we're kind of going into a little bit of email spacing psychology, but that's besides the point. So that's why I made this product to help women like you have what it is that they want, And again, as many as you need here, 3 minimum.
So do you match up the pain point down at the bottom with the solution to that one pain point?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's usually, it's usually something like
struggle to make dinner because your kids are loud.
My kids are so loud and so busy and I don't have the time to make dinner that I always run through the drive-through. This is going to help women like you have a full meal plan that's easy to do without needing to stay at home constantly worrying about if your kids are going to be eating vegetables enough. It will already be done for you. So it balances itself out. And always need to match up perfectly, but think about the struggle that your person is having. And a lot of times the solution is in direct correlation with the struggle. Like,
plus it helps you write that second section too.
It's in direct opposition. What problem are they having? What do they want? They want to have an easy meal planning solution. They are currently dealing with the fact that their children are the Tasmanian devil meets the Hoover vacuum cleaner, and they have the cooking capacity of a goldfish. Like, that's what they're dealing with. This is what they want, and they just happen to match up. We are balancing out the pain points that they're struggling with this is why I made this product.
Boom.
This is your plug for the product. And kind of going back up to the top, by the way, I always love to do this at the beginning of all of my email sequences for flash sales. Yesterday, I sent you an email about to help them remember, like, oh, did I get that? And then they'll be looking for it, or they'll be like, oh yeah, now I do remember that. Because psychology of selling is that people need to be exposed to something 7 or 9 times before they're willing to buy. Yep. So the more times that you can kind of get it in front of people's eyes, even if it's subconsciously, even if they read it in passing and were like, oh, that's an interesting story. Okay, next. If they did that, then you'll say, yesterday I sent you an email about my struggles with not figuring out what to cook for my family while we were camping. They're going to be like, oh yeah, I do remember that email. Okay.
Yeah. And plus I think it limits the unsubscribes because you're reminding them why you were there.
Oh yes, this is very true. Very, very true. So that's why I made this product. And now you're calling them back to, why is there urgency here? Whatever that might be for you, that's why you're saying, like, so just to let you know, heads up, it's on sale for the next, 48, 24 hours, whatever it is. This is a new addition to my shop. This special offer will only be good for blankety blank. And then you give them your buy button and then you sign off. Why is it weird like this? What is happening here?
What I do?
Okay, so randomly the sign off is the last thing on this page. And then that's day 2. Ta-da! So we're giving them a nice reminder that you get what it's like. You get it. You get it. And you know what they want. You get it. And you're saying that your product is the solution. Your product is the bridge between what their problem is and the solution to it. You're giving them that bridge. You're giving them that connection. That's where your product comes in.